So remember, in this example, we're going to be looking at how we find the formula or the equation for this linear relationship, this line. And the first thing that I'm going to need is I'm going to need 2 points. So I want somebody to tell me what 2 points would be for this particular line. And I want to try to restrict our points for our purposes to, I won't move that again. I want to restrict this. I'm going to move this back up. Hang on. I want to restrict this to points within the first quadrant, or ones that border the first quadrant. And just so we remember, that's how we label our quadrants. So give me 2 points along that line that are in the first quadrant or that border the first quadrant. What could those be? Mr. Duncan, help me out with 2 points. Quadrant 1 or that border quadrant 1. Okay, 0, 4. And 0, 4 happens right there. Okay, just so you know, and I'll get rid of that so you can see it. But 0, 4, first point. Can you give me another one?
Let's see. I'll go over 2 on the x-axis. I'll hit the line of 8 units, so it will go 2, 8.
All right. I hope that we all see that. It is 2, 8. Okay, so now, remember, best practice tells me that I need to go ahead and label my ordered pairs so that I have it straight when it comes time for me to write my slope formula. So first things first, I need 2 points to figure out my slope. I'm going to use the slope to help me figure out the slope, and 1 point anyway, to help me figure out what my value of b is. Remember, I'm trying to prove that what I see here on the graph, where the line hits the y-axis at 4, that b is actually going to be 4, and I'm going to prove it mathematically. All right, so my formula, one more time, for slope is going to be m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now I need for somebody to tell me what my 2 points are. What my 2 points are. I'm sorry, what I'm going to plug in into the formula. Okay, because I've already identified my 2 points. I just need to plug them in now. So, Marley, can you help me? So what am I going to plug in into the numerator up here? Remember, this is y2 minus y1. 8 and 2. Okay, so this is x2 down here and y2. So remember, I'm only focusing on what's above the line here. So okay, go ahead. 8 minus 4. Congratulations, thank you. 8 minus 4. Now, let's pick another volunteer. Let's see, who have I not heard from? Genesee. Can you tell me what goes in the denominator? Yes. We're looking for the 2 numbers that would go in the denominator that correspond to x2 and x1. Oh, yeah, I want you to look in the lower left-hand corner at the numbers that we've already identified. So the orange. So remember that we're looking for our x's, 0 and 2, sure. So what is x2? Which number is x2? Okay, so x1 is here. x2 is here at the bottom. x2 is here at the bottom. Do you see that? Okay, so what number is x2? 2, right. Okay, what number is x1? 0. Okay, so now you just have to make sure that those are labeled properly, and all you have to do is just put them into your formula. So 8 minus 4, one more time, is going to be 4. I'm going to make that a different color that stands out a little bit more. And 2 minus 0. Zion, what is that going to give me? All right, I agree, 2. Now when I simplify that down, that becomes what? When I simplify it down, 4 over 2 simplifies to, Cedric, what does that simplify to? I see what's being written into the chat. So Cedric, what does that simplify to? 4 over 2, 4 divided by 2. All right, it comes out to be 2. So now, I have figured out what my slope is. Remember, I need to know slope, and I need to know what b is. And so far, I don't know what b is. And so I'm going to use information that I already have and that I have come up with to help me figure out what b is. I'm going to use one of my points that I've already identified, write down my slope-intercept formula, and I'm going to color code these. So I'm going to color code this first y value as with blue, and then I'm going to use I'll use orange with the x value. Okay, so now I am going to plug in Malcolm, what am I going to plug in for y? I used orange and blue in the lower left-hand corner. All right, so my y value is 4. You're right. Oh, supposed to do that in blue, sorry. I did that in blue. This is 4. Now, if we go back, I need to, what was my slope? What was m? What was m? What was m? Tau, can you tell me what m was? M was 2. Now, what is the x value from the point that I was looking at earlier? What is the x value from that point I was looking at earlier? Kennedy, what's the x value? Okay, so if I look back over here at this point that I was working with, so I already have my slope in there, because this is my slope. Now I need to come up with whatever that x value was from the point that I was looking at earlier. 0, okay? Now, do I know b at this point? I don't know b. I don't know that point, okay? So I'm going to just put plus b, okay? So now what I want to do is I want to keep simplifying down. I want to keep simplifying down. This becomes 4 is equal to 2 times 0 is what? 0 plus b. Mr. Moore, I don't like the way that looks. Switch it around for me. Sure. b plus 0 is equal to 4. What do I do next? What can I do next? Think about what's efficient, what is fast. Okay? Seth, can you tell me what I'm going to do? What do I do to get b by itself? Do I have to do anything? Seth, can you hear me? Okay, I'm thinking that his mic may not be working. All right, Zaid, unmute yourself. What do I need to do to get b by itself? All right, so I'm thinking that we may have some issues with mics today, okay? So b plus 0 is also known as just b. If it's known as just b, I can get rid of it, okay? I can get rid of that 0. So I know that now b is 4. So what I want to do, and for the sake of time, I'm going to now put all of these things together and make that generic equation where any value of x that I want to plug in, I'm going to get the right value of y. So this now becomes, remember we're starting back with that formula, y is equal to mx plus b. And I was going to prove mathematically that b was 4. So when I put it all together, it becomes y. And I'm going to plug in the value of m that I calculated. That's 2x plus 4. So the equation for this line right here that I'm going over in brown is going to be y is equal to 2x plus 4. I proved to myself because I saw on this chart that I knew that the y-intercept was 4. I just proved it to myself using math.